Hey everyone, I'm so excited for you to see this video, which was a special guest appearance from our friend Delfina Hernandez, founder of Currency Wellness. We brought her in our special community session when we covered the power of budgeting, but not only budgeting to set yourself up for success for your business, but bringing in that accountability by bringing in a budgeting bestie. We are so honored and excited to have you meet Delfina in this next video. So we have special guest appearance today. We have Delfina Hernandez from Currency Wellness. We're going to talk about that mindset. We're going to talk about that soul searching when it comes to money. And we are so excited and honored to have her here. So I'm going to get quiet and I'm going to let her take over the show for the next few minutes. We're so excited to see what she has for us. So I'm going to stop sharing so that way Delfina could jump in, introduce herself, and get started.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much, Mariette. That was such a great opportunity for all of us to see your magic and the beautiful Google Sheets you create for us. For many of you, hello and welcome today. I'm Delfina Hernandez. I'm a former operations manager for Wells Fargo Bank. I was in that industry for 8 years. And just like Mariette says, where you start from the beginning, from the bottom, that's where I started. I was a teller, I was a personal banker, an operations manager, a business manager. And out of my 8 years of my career with Wells Fargo, it gave me a lot of tools under this belt here, anywhere between helping people with equity lines of credit, credit cards, small businesses, bigger businesses, personal banking. So think of that person when you walk into the bank and you see them. Well, today's banking has changed dramatically, right? But a little bit of everything that you see in those banks is what I had the opportunity to be a part of. Since then, I have become what I like to call a domestic engineer. I'm very grateful that I had an opportunity to be a stay-at-home mom. I have two boys, ages 12, and my other son's going to be 9. They're growing very quickly. And as of today, I'm a very passionate money relationship coach. I am dedicating my life, my energy, and reshaping the way we connect with money. So, Tanya, thank you for sharing about how emotional this is because, yes, we all are emotional beings, and sometimes we suppress that. And I have learned in my journey that I will not suppress those feelings. I will bring them to the forefront to see what is it that we can do differently. So thank you once again, you guys. I appreciate you spending your time and space with me today. Like I mentioned, I'm a money relationship coach. And now let's dive into mindful budgeting. And as we go through this, I want to first share a story with you. So buckle up because here we go. There's two young women that started a doggy daycare grooming business, and they pulled all of their investments. As they pulled their savings and investments together, they started that doggy business and they purchased and rented out, or sorry, they rented out a 6,000 square feet building. So together, as they pulled, they invested 150,000 in business and renovations. And so many of us here today, we're all in different lines of work, right? Like Mariette said, we're either starting or if we've been in our industries for a period of time, or we're reevaluating where we're at. So through their experience, the constant hustle and burnout when you're not putting budgets into place plays a crucial role on what could potentially happen by not forecasting this, why budgeting is so important. So this oversight failed to account for essential factors like money mindset, hormonal effects, and spending on our old habits versus what the new habits we want to create, and just generational money habits as well. And so, because of that, these two young women went bankrupt. And the consequences were dire, resulting in, when we go bankrupt, that's a lot of feelings and emotions, of feeling like a failure, feeling like a loser. Those are many words that we all use in our vocabulary, but we need to be very mindful of our thoughts, our words, and our actions. So then, three things that could have changed the outcome for these young ladies. The key to recovery was implementing a uniquely designed budget that addressed all the financial aspects. So, a bulletproof budget, right? That's something that could have been a part of their journey. And so, their daily mindset is something that could be and should have been a part of their journey. So, the efforts to enhance the mindset around money, building positive and abundant perspective, as well as taking care of, the body, understanding personal spending habits, understanding our body, why we do what we do, going for walks. With one of them, she chose to mentally and physically to take charge of her life. So after a bankruptcy, when people feel all those emotions of failure, what do you do? Where do you start? And that's what one of them did. She chose to learn from her rock bottom. And that was the beginning for her story. And so every day I focused on those three pillars. Yes, guys, one of those young ladies, that was me. That was 10 years ago. 10 years ago, I personally filed bankruptcy due to the lack of budgeting, the emotions that came into play. So, in my teaching, a lot of where I teach about is three pillars of a money mindset, around cleaning up your mindset versus scarcity. So I chose personally, as you guys can tell, I'm a business owner today. Like I mentioned, I was an operations manager. So you would think, how is it that you ran a bank, you managed all this money, you help all these clients, and you don't succeed in your business? Well, I believe that our mindset plays a crucial role on how we go about doing things. So, according to the National Science Association, 80% of our thoughts are negative. Imagine, guys, every day, every single one of us, we're battling 80% of negative thoughts and then 95% repetitive. So, as we go out there and every day we are choosing our mindset, right? When we wake up, are we meditating? Are we breathing? Are we going for walks? Things like that are very, very important to reframe the negative loop cycle that happens to us. So, as we do this, we can start to practice gratitude daily. Let's be mindful of our thoughts. Let's be mindful of our words and our actions. What are we grateful for? What are things that we can be grateful for that are fundamental? Our family, our health, our shelter, our clothing, our food. How many times throughout the day do we try to keep up with the Jones, right? We have social media and we're comparing ourselves to everyone. This is very important in business because we get stuck, we become paralyzed. And that has to deal with our emotions, our mindset. So, as we do that, what can we do differently to calm the nervous system? We're all experiencing it. You're not alone. For me personally, for the past 10 years, have been doing personal development. So, what has come into my life is choosing to practice meditation, choosing every day that I'm going to take minimum 15 minutes of my time to meditate. And then you're thinking, well, how? We're all busy. We're either wives or we have children or we have partners. There's so much that we're all doing on a daily basis. But this is what we can do. At lunchtime, we can take time to do so. In your car, at the park, in your home, at your work desk. Those are things that we can do to help ourselves. Also, find others who you look up to. Who are your mentors? Who is it that is a role model to you? And that's where you start to listen to those audibles, those YouTube videos, the social media, choosing to mindfully follow people that are going to fill up your cup, that are going to give you the encouragement, that are going to give you the tools to take yourself to that next level in whatever business you want to create for yourself, especially a purpose-driven business. Now let's talk about our body. We talked about mindset. We're reframing that negative loop cycle. We now know that 80% of our time, our mind does that to us, and 95% repetitive. So we're all battling this globally. So what do we do about it? We get moving. We dance, we walk, we lift weights. Studies show over and over, as we do this daily, it helps activate our happy chemicals. And throughout my programs, I do teach about our hormones and how our hormones affect the way we do things. Now, we need to nourish it with healthy foods. We all know that when we feed our body more natural, organic, processed food, or food that are not processed, that helps this vehicle here activate and be able to go about our days in a healthier, more energetic way, because our foods and our vegetables, that's what gives us that energy we're all looking for. And so love and appreciate your body daily. I know many of us, we go through life, go, 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 and we don't really take care of ourselves. And I say that because I'm guilty myself. But this is why these three pillars are very important when it comes to life in general, let alone staying focused on your business and creating a business. Not only that is it going to help you sustain, but to continue to increase your currency. So let's talk about finances. Let's be smart with our money. Well, how are we smart with our money? We think positively about our money. Think about how many hours a day are we all spending in our line of work? Are we thinking positive about it? Are we dreading it? Are we not heart-centered in it anymore? All of that affects the way we do things. We are energetic beings, and the more we are aware of our energy, that's how we create the currency wellness, is through our energetic ways. So we want to treat our money well. We want to love our money. Doesn't mean that when we love our money, it's greedy. No, absolutely not. This is your time away from your children, your partner, your family, your friends. So, of course, we all want to be in the line of work that's going to make us happy, right? And to create that currency. So, let's break it down a little bit more. The golden key is budgeting. Budgeting can be fun and sexy, and it's not all about the black and white sheet, right? And you're thinking, how can it be fun and sexy? I'm sure we're all stressed out when it comes to money. Let's look at this together. Don't forget to budget for play. So let's think of play. What brings you joy? And in the chat, please tell me, what brings you joy? Is it going, sorry, I'm going to back it up a little bit. Whoops. There we go. I think to myself, what brings me joy? When I filed bankruptcy and I hit my rock bottom, I had to really reevaluate my money situation, right? So what brought joy to me, and this is while having children. My son was about 6 months, and my other son was 3, when I was in that frame of bankruptcy. So what brings me joy is being in nature. I love going out to the park, to the beach, and spending time there and decompressing. Something like that in your vicinity doesn't need to cost money, but it's important that we do those things and that we do budget for joy. Because besides me going out to nature, besides me doing things that don't necessarily involve money, of course, I like to be able to place my currency in a direction that brings me joy. So, as Mariette shared with us this beautiful Google sheet, what are the avoiding budget pitfalls we can do? So, what I've noticed over and over as I help my business clients the areas of opportunity are the contractors, the dues and subscriptions. Those are areas of opportunity for many folks because when we are not mindful on our goals, our dreams, our desires, and we don't have that accountability bestie that's going to hold our hand through this experience and being authentic and real, then that's where we can reevaluate. We can think, okay, I want to make more money. I want to pay myself. So, how do we do that? How do we make it rain for ourselves, right? Is that when it comes to business and personal, and there are many books out there, right? Profit First. I'm sure many of you have read that. And when it comes to that, allocating money in different directions, yes, that is a great way of doing things. But what I have noticed over and over in my career, and that's 20 plus in the financial field, anywhere between banking, entrepreneurship, and now, as of I would say 7 years, monetizing my business. And what I see is we are not being mindful of our habits, of our instant gratification. There's a difference between making the money and then placing it all in the direction where it needs to be. But then how is your experience as that human? Is it impulsive? You wanted to purchase something and you thought to you told yourself a story on why you deserve it or why you need it or why you should do it. But then we do it, and then we wonder why we don't have cash flow. We wonder why can't I pay myself more money? Well, to me, for me, in my experience, I look at it as a hybrid. Your business is your personal, and your personal is your business. So the things that we need to look differently is what are the key takeaways here? Is the three pillars of a healthy money mindset. And that's what we need to start with in our businesses. So when I mentioned earlier that I went into a partnership, creating a business, a doggy daycare, invested 150,000 cash. And this is, funds from my retirement working hard with Wells Fargo Bank. And as I went through the journey, there was so much in direct, the labor cost of what it cost to hire people. Our budget was 30,000 for it. Our direct marketing and supplies was 15,000, but our actuals were 50 and 20. So when you look at this tool sheet is a very, very helpful tool that we can put into place for ourselves. But then also we have to ask ourselves those questions. What is my goal? What is my dream for 2024? Are we taking time at the end of this year to see what we can do differently? Are we keeping it real with ourselves? Do you have someone in your corner? And if all those answers right now, if you could please put in the chat, do you have someone that you can trust? Who is that person in your corner that you can look at and you want to connect with them? You want to have this conversation with them and you want to keep it real. And so this community that Mariette has created is what's beautiful. And here's my contact information. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact me. But what I do want to share with you today that it is possible that through all of these emotions here that we all carry, we're no different from one another. There's a way for us to not only to become more aware of what we're doing, but what actions can we take for ourselves to make that change in our business, to pay ourselves more money, right? And it all starts with being mindful and really taking a look at, do I really need this? What could I do differently? And remember, that comes from your personal end, let alone your business end, because at the end of the day, as we make more money from our business, we want to be able to pay ourselves more money. And we want to create our portfolio, right? Do we have a Roth IRA? Do we have a brokerage account? Do we have liquid savings? Do we have an emergency fund? All of these questions are very, very important for us entrepreneurs.
I do want to just have a moment here with Delfina, since Delfina, this was your debut, Delfina. So how are you feeling about today? What would you like our community to be left with before we say our goodbyes?
Thank you. I really appreciate this opportunity. As Mariette says, she likes to provide a platform for others to share what is it that they're doing to bring to the community. And I love Mariette from day one. She's been one of my mentors here, and I met her at in LA. I'm from LA. I'm in San Pedro. So I do believe that everything aligns at its time. And so for many of us, right, we're all entrepreneurs here. And like I mentioned, this negative loop cycle of ours that can keep us at bay, we have to really get a hold of ourselves. It doesn't matter what age we're at. Doesn't matter where we're at in our life. If we don't have enough money, if we have too much money, it goes back to currency is a tool. And we're living in times right now that none of us have ever experienced. And so, what needs to happen more now than ever is us being and keeping it real with oneself, take down the mask, right? Take it off and be able to look at each other and say, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready to take charge. And so, yes, it's unfamiliar. Yes, it's fearful. It's scary. Doesn't matter what age we are, we're all feeling it. But what I like to see out of all of this is that many people think that when you go bankrupt, you failed, right? That's what I thought. I'm like, you're a failure. How can you come back to, you know, um, being able to create a business when you've lost all your currency? But that's when I went inward. So if you're starting from scratch and there's not enough currency to say make all these dreams come true, that's where it starts. What are your dreams? What do you desire? What would you like to do differently? We can all change. I know many people think, oh, the older we are, we can't change, but we can. It's a choice. And so today, what I would love to leave you with is that you're not alone. You have Mariette, you have me, you have Danny. There's so many great people in this community. So just reach out to each other and let's create the change we seek by starting with ourselves. So thank you once again, everyone, for today's time and space.
Oh, so beautiful. And it's interesting. So Delfina's business is called Currency Wellness. And when she just spoke about currency right now, I literally got chills because when I usually speak more about financiers or about money, right? And so, but when I think about currency actually gave me right now, Delfina, when you're saying that, it gave me such a positive energy feeling, like the currency in us, right? I was
Yes.
able to actually separate it from a financial perspective and think of it from a very energetic perspective. So I'm sure that was some intentionality in that with your name, obviously, right? Because you work a lot on
Yes.
that. But I just wanted to thank you for going a little deeper in regards to currency and that we all have different currencies, because I believe that too. Like, even like when you were saying that, I felt a current, like we felt like the frequency, the currency, and I got chills. Like I literally did. So I just wanted to like share that's what I got from when you were sharing that. So thank you. Thank you so very much. And thank you for bravely coming on here, because I know it's not always easy to come into this community, not meaning like the community is great, but you as a presenter, it's not always easy for anyone. So thank you for bravely coming in, and you did beautifully. So appreciate you so much.
Thank
And I
you.
saw others saying that too. They love the presentation, excellent presentation. They love the energy.